Hey there, toy collector friends and Doctor Who fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Triple TC, that is the time-travelling toy collector, and this is another bonus entry into my Parliament of the Daleks series. It is the 3 final new Paradigm Daleks that I managed to get from a, to be fair, a range of different sources. One was from an eBay source, which was a charity, which I won't name for a reason that will become apparent in a moment. One was from Master Replicas, which I think was this one, and I now can't remember where I got this one from. But yeah, so I already had the other two, the Supreme and the Drone, oh, excuse me, which came within the Parliament of the Daleks official box sets, the ones that were put together by Eagle Moss. But it left me 3 astray, and I do so hate to not have a complete set. So here we have the Eternal, the Strategist and the Scientist. I think I've got that the right way round. I'm pretty sure I've got it the right way round. Yeah. You'll notice that the Strategist is, in the original episode they appeared in, which was Victory of the Daleks, they were much sort of primary coloured. This is a more metallic hue. This is the version of the figure that appeared in the Asylum of the Daleks show, when the Dalek Paradigm turned up in the following series. So it is a little bit different in terms of the colour scheme. It's still blue, it's just a much more metallic blue than we saw in the original. So whilst I've got this one up, again you can see that they all do this on the base. So rather than have the normal platform at the bottom which states what the character is and what the episode is from, etc, etc, this has the very sort of sci-fi bauble hover repulsor engine thing that sits below the Daleks to enable them to sort of swoop along and fly and glide and do all those things. I'll zoom in a tad just so we can get a nice look at this model of the Dalek. Again, I really like this finish, actually, and I do wonder whether, had all the new Paradigm Daleks been done in this finish from the beginning, if they may have been slightly well received, but they may have been slightly more well received or better received than they were. They did look a bit sort of popsicle coloured, whereas this metallic hue almost sort of, it dampens down that almost sort of popsicle colour scheme and makes them look significantly more, I don't know, more of a threat. There's still this hump there, but you know, I could possibly live with that because the colour scheme does make them a little bit more. The slightly muted metallic colour scheme for me works. Let me know in the comments below if you don't think so. Also, this midsection, which allows for the weapons and the arms to track round and be replaced by what's stored below, is a more gunmetal metallic silver type of colour that matches the slats here on the head. So we've got the eye stalk there giving us a golden eye. We've got the slats there. We've got the manipulator arm and the extended gun. And I know that this was a really sort of a polarizing design, but I do kind of like it. So, you know, I'm very glad that I was able to track this one down. I'm very glad I was able to track them all down, to be perfectly honest. But it was nice to get this one. Then we shall move onto the Eternal, which is basically a great big bumblebee. And again, you can see why I think this one would have been better, again, with a slightly more metallic muted yellow. But it is kind of mysterious. And you can see, yeah, that this plays slightly not so well with the yellow and black. If this was black and black, then maybe. But because this is that other shade of grey, and I think if I bring in this one, you can see how those shades are slightly different. Only slightly, actually. It's more slight than I realised when I put them next to each other. But again, very nicely done. Staying with the same design there for the arms and the eye stalk. Disappointing and this marries with something that happened with my original Parliament the Dalek series. He's only got one ear. Look what's happened here. Now what's very interesting is it was sealed in its box, but it didn't have the missing piece. And if you look here, it doesn't actually look like the missing piece has fallen off. It just looks like it's never been there. Because where I've seen pieces be off before, there's usually a hint around the break in it that's the case. But I did a thorough search of the packaging and it absolutely wasn't the case. And I do have evidence of where that happens in other cases, because if it's sealed, it shouldn't be able to get out. And yet somehow it wasn't there. So if you've experienced this, maybe he's just trying to look a bit like Hellboy or something like that. But if you've experienced this in your collections, then please do let me know. Which is a shame, because it's a mar on it and I can't fix it. And the reason I mentioned about being able to fix it is because if we move to the Scientist, now I'm getting my colours all mixed up. It's a Scientist, isn't it? Yeah, this is the Scientist colour. I had the same thing. This one, the inside ones, because when they're put together, they're presented like this in the packet thing, was also sheared off, but it was inside the packaging, so I was able to reattach it, which I've managed to do, and you wouldn't necessarily notice. So I'm very gutted that it's missing, because I could have just fixed that, and really you wouldn't necessarily have known if I hadn't told you. But yeah, so this is the Strategist with some sort of orange, and this is somewhere between the bright popsicle colour and the muted metallic, but it is the original from Victory of the Daleks. And again, I just really love the design of this. I think they're a wonderful design. I think the new Paradigm was very heavily underexploited and kind of discarded a bit too quickly. I think they needed to be seen to be the threat they could have been, and people would have, I think the TV series possibly needed to hold its nerve a little more than it did, and we may very well have seen a bit more acceptance of these Daleks. I don't quite know why people seem to think they have ownership over what characters can look like, but you know, just for a completeness point of view, because I'm all about completeness, I can bring the drone in here, which is from one of the Dalek sets, and I can also bring in the big white Supreme Dalek in there. There we go. And that is our entire set. Our entire set of new Paradigm Daleks from Eaglemoss, 2 of which come via the actual Parliament of the Dalek sets. The other 3 I've been able to pick up. And I really like the look of them. I really like the look of them. And I think I mentioned in a previous Dalek video, I'm going to, at some point in the near future, I don't know when, but it will be soon, I'm actually going to unpackage all of the Parliament of the Daleks, and I'm going to do a proper photo shoot with them all. And I might do an accompanying video just to sort of say, hey folks, here's all the Daleks from the Daleks Parliament, and possibly a couple of extra bits. I'm nearly at the end of what I was looking to collect. I do have another Eaglemoss Daleks thing that I managed to pick up from one of the online retailers. I think it was Sci-Fi Collector, which I want to share, which I'm looking forward to doing a video on. But otherwise, I just really love this. I think the colours really work. Now, I don't know whether that's because distance from the original shock value of them has made me change my mind. I didn't really dislike them when they first appeared. You know, that wasn't really a problem for me. I think, but then I saw the original movies, not when they came out, but the original movies with Peter Cushing, where there were bright, colourful Daleks. So it's, you know, every time there's an evolution of the Daleks and what they look like, I'm not that fussed by it, to be perfectly honest. I don't get caught up in all of that. Just for completeness, I know I've shown it in other videos, but in case this is your first one, this is how individual Daleks come packaged. They come in these sort of little pods, which you can use for presentation. On the back, it usually tells you the episode. So as I said, this one is for the Asylum of the Daleks version of the new Paradigm Strategist, which is the blue one, and 11th Doctor story. and you can keep them safe from harm in there. Just for completeness, the lid's not on it because I've taken it off to take the thing out, but this is what the Eternal Dalek comes in, new Paradigm. So it's again, they're all numbered as part of the collection, but I really like them. I like, again, Eaglemoss were not that great at some of the stuff they produced, but the monsters, particularly the Cybermen and the Daleks, I've really enjoyed collecting those pieces and continuing to collect those pieces when they become available. If they are different enough or nuanced enough for me to pique my interest. I love it. I really do love that. I know they're not for everybody, but I do like a nice complete set. Now I am one ear away from having a complete set. Anyway, what did you think of the new Paradigm? What did you think of the models of the new Paradigm? Do you have a favourite Dalek design? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And whilst you're doing that, please drop a like for the video. And it would also be so much appreciated if you could subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to push to get to my next subscriber milestone, so it would make a huge difference if you are one of those who are watching this but has not yet subscribed. I'd be so grateful. Thank you very much. And if you do subscribe, just drop a hello in the comments. I will make a point of replying to you at my earliest convenience, so that you know that I am as grateful as I say I am. One other thing I'm going to say is it just dropped a day or two ago at the time of filming this. Master Replicas, who've picked up the Doctor Who figurine license now, they are going to be putting together or they have put together rather, a new set of Doctor Who things that are coming out. And the reason I mention that is because they've only just, here we are in July, they've just put up for pre-order. And we can discuss whether or not pre-order is a good thing. I've got another video that came out recently about to pre-order or not to pre-order, and that's a discussion piece. So please engage in that discussion in the comments. I don't think it'll whenever you're looking at this or looking at that, I don't think it's a conversation that will go away quickly. So please do. Yeah. It's the Dalek Saucer, and it feels from the visuals of it and the dimensions of it that it's kind of in line with an XL version of a Star Trek ship, if you're familiar with those kind of categorizations. But anyway, it won't be in scale, of course, with these, because it couldn't be, to be honest, because it's a massive spaceship. But I've ordered it. And I will share it with you when it finally releases. I don't know what its estimated release date is, but I will share it when it arrives. Because it will also be really good to see what the new Master Replicas take on the Doctor Who figurine collection will be. And again, we didn't have any vehicles with the Eaglemoss collection. Yes, we had one TARDIS exterior with the 11th Doctor, which I've also done a video on. We know we've got 3 new ones already coming. One for the 15th Doctor, one for the 4th Doctor, and the very first Doctor's original TARDIS exterior. And I'm particularly keen and hopeful that we'll see some console designs coming in. I managed to pick up all of the ones that had been released previously, and so I'm hoping for some new ones of those. Anyway, enough about what my hopes and dreams are. Do let me know if there's anything you're particularly keen to see in the new Doctor Who range coming from Master Replicas in the comments down below. You've been a fantastic audience watching me for the last 15 or so minutes. I'm really grateful. Thank you for sticking around. I've been the Time Travelling Toy Collector, and this has been the new Dalek Paradigm from originally Victory of the Daleks, the Pandorica Opens, and of course Asylum of the Daleks. So you take care. I look forward to seeing you in a future video, or of course a past video if you have a little look around the channel. And it just goes for me to say that things of beauty really can be toys forever. Bye bye for now.